Let's get into the video.
We're now getting a first-hand look at a Georgia car chase turned shootout that left multiple officers injured. One
Damn, he got that chopper.
A lifetime prison sentence.
Damn. Oh, shit. Dude.
It happened on April 12th, 2021 in Carroll County, Georgia, west of Atlanta. That's where a Georgia State Patrol trooper stopped a Nissan Sentra driving more than 100 miles per hour along the interstate.
Oh, damn. They was getting little. Shoot the cops with an AK-47. AK-47.
Determined the driver was Aaron Shelton. His cousin, Kier Shelton, was in the passenger seat. As dash camera video shows, at first, the driver doesn't stop for the trooper.
He said, fuck that. He said, I'm getting gone. I'm getting little.
Eventually, though, the car pulls to the side of the road.
It's a trick. He's not gonna stop. He's gonna take off.
But when the trooper gets out to approach the Nissan, it speeds off.
I knew it. Smooth.
Dash camera video shows the initial chase as Aaron Shelton attempts to outrun the trooper.
You need to give up, man.
Soon, the trooper gains on Shelton's vehicle. As dash camera video continues, the initial trooper zeroes in on the suspect's car and taps it as it drives along. The car veers out of frame before straightening out once again. Next, Kier Shelton can be seen from the passenger side of the Nissan pulling out an AK-47. He points the gun back at the Georgia State Trooper and opens fire. As the chase continues, multiple other units respond to the call, including county sheriff's deputies and local police officers. Dash camera video from other first responders shows them joined together in the search for Shelton and his cousin.
Wearing a yellow hoodie. Floorboard.
6-6, back off of him. back off. Let's see what they do. Dispatch, we're right here going 69 miles an hour. I'm waiting to see what we do. We're turning right on Bankhead Highway. All right, get me some people up here. Let's get ready to do felony stop. If not, we will pit.
Carrollton Police Sergeant Rob Holloway can be heard on body camera video calling out instructions during the chase.
All right, back off just a little. We're going to follow at this distance. Dispatch, we are going 60 miles an hour. Bankhead Highway, we're passing Barnes Store. Get Villa Rica set up, spikes at Bay Springs.
With some kind of A-frame, something up under it. Definitely an AR stop.
Hey, just make sure we're backed off just enough, okay? I'm going to try to turn on my scene lights. Dispatch, we are going about 90 miles an hour. We are coming up on Old Airport Road.
But only a minute later, shots are fired toward Holloway.
They're hitting their brakes. I'm waiting to see what they're about to do. Chief went back off of them.
Just went out the Granby Connor. You ain't got to worry about spikes.
I know, but I don't want to get up here while they're moving around. I'd rather go ahead and disable them.
Sergeant Holloway was shot in the head and crashed his squad car as a result. Dash camera video from Holloway's squad car shows the same moments from a different angle. These same moments of Holloway's crash were also captured by another officer's dash camera. As the crime unfolds, video shows officers on the scene take cover, ducking behind parked squad cars. Video then shows some officers move to a new location. This video shows the perspective of Carrollton police officer Chase Gordy, who also responded to the scene. Gordy can be seen taking cover in front of his squad car as shots ring out in the distance. Soon, gunshots are fired directly at Gordy. Gordy can be seen calling for help as the gunfire continues. For only 2 seconds, a suspect is seen in front of the squad car, gun in hand. Officer Gordy's body camera video captures these same moments from another perspective. Gordy's body camera video. Only 2 seconds, a suspect is seen in front of the squad car, gun in hand.
You got an AK-47, and the cop just barely gets away up there to the top right.
For only 2 seconds, a
He's up here over to the top right,
suspect is seen in front of the
ducking, and this dude's coming around like, where is
squad
he
car,
at?
gun
Hell no.
in hand. Officer Gordy's body camera video captures these same moments from another perspective.
He's on my car. He's on my car. He's behind my car.
In all, 3 first responders were shot and injured: Gordy Holloway and Deputy Jay Repetto. Pearson also died in the incident. Aaron Shelton was arrested and indicted on 22 counts, including felony murder, felony fleeing, and aggravated assault of law enforcement officers. He was later convicted and sentenced to life in prison without parole. Reporting for Law and Crime Network, I'm Sierra Gillespie.
Explain to me again why this was not robbery.
New police body cam video shows Ruby Franke's husband, Kevin, after her arrest, police storming the Franke home, and the recovery of 2 other Franke children. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Well, we've got some fascinating new body cam footage in the Ruby Franke case that we want to get into. So Franke, of course, is the former YouTuber who doled out parenting advice, only now be charged with 6 counts of aggravated child abuse with respect to 2 of her young children.
What irony.
This happened after her children were found in the home of her business partner and now co-defendant, Jody Hildebrandt, in Ivins, Utah. The son, who actually escaped the home and then ran to a neighbor who called 911. He was found emaciated with wounds and evidence that he'd been tied up. The daughter reportedly found in similar condition. We don't have official confirmation of that, but we do know that she was taken to the hospital to be treated for malnourishment. But now I want to get into this video, or these videos, I should say. So first of all, there is brand new video from police in Springville, Utah, that gives us a little bit of insight into how Ruby's husband, Kevin Franke, was acting after his estranged wife was arrested. So to help me talk about these videos, I want to bring in right now a special guest. I'm joined right now by Brian Schnee, who is an anchor and reporter from KUTV2 News. He has been covering the Ruby Franke case. For anybody who's been following the Ruby Franke case, they should know Brian. Hey, Brian, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Always happy to talk about something that has consumed my life for the last month and a half.
Yeah, it's consumed ours as well. We really do appreciate your reporting. It's been excellent. I want to start, though, with the Kevin Franke video. So everybody, a little context here. We know that Kevin started the 8 Passengers YouTube channel with Ruby in 2015. He documented their lives with the kids, offering advice on childcare, parenting. Kevin hasn't been criminally charged. As we found out from his attorney, Randy Kester, Kevin apparently been living apart for more than a year from Ruby. Didn't know that his kids were in Ivins. So, Brian, before we get into this video, can you walk us through the context of what we are about to see here?
So Kevin fits into this very uniquely, right? We're still trying to figure out Kevin's involvement in all of this. It's a very unique situation as it pertains to his marriage with Ruby, as you mentioned. There's the at least information out there that they haven't been living together in that Springville home for at least a year. It is mentioned in this body camera video too, which is only about 2 minutes long. We obtained the body camera video from Springville. It shows Kevin getting items back. These items were in question roughly a day or 2 after they went to that Springville home to look for the 2 outstanding children that they couldn't figure out their whereabouts after Franke was taken into custody.
Okay, so with all that in mind, you're going to see, it's really, really fascinating here, because after Ruby was arrested, he files this report to police saying that his home had been burglarized, some items were missing, and it turns out that Ruby's adult daughter, Shari, was the one who took some items from the home, seemingly for safekeeping, returned the items back to police. Now let's take a listen to what Kevin had to say as to those items given back to him.
There you go. Is it all there?
Yes. Yeah, explain to me again why this was not robbery.
Because it's a civil issue. It's you guys are family. She's been in the house before. You haven't been in the house in a year. She had interest in the items. She didn't take them with the intention to deprive you of them. So that's the theft code. We have to prove intent to deprive you of the items. And that wasn't her intent in having them. So the detective sergeant said that we're not going to charge her for anything.
Okay. I'll have to do some research on that.
You're welcome to do that. You're going to follow up their techniques yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be here on Tuesday. His name's Sergeant McCoy. Okay. You're welcome. Take care.
All right. What's your reaction to that?
Well, Kevin still asks, how is this not warrant a robbery or a theft charge? To which the officer then has to explain, hey, this doesn't warrant theft because there was no depriving of these items. Shari brought them back, as we understand it, rather quickly. I think the items are the really interesting part, though. What do they entail? There were cameras, there were tablets, there were journals, passports for Kevin, Ruby, and Chad, who is the other, adult child for Ruby Frankie. So I thought it was all really interesting about that interaction. Mind you, this is still really fresh in this case. So this video happens just 48 hours basically after Ruby's taken into custody. I can only imagine what's going through Kevin's mind at this point.
Yeah, and assuming again that he had no idea what was happening here, that's a lot to take in, and it's hard to blame him for some of the ways he's been acting. But I do want to ask you the items. Any idea why Shari would have taken these specific items?
No, and the thing that's interesting is if you read some of the other reports from Springville, the day we got the reports about what really took place that day, the following day, and then the third day in question, which is when Kevin got those items back and reported that burglary, we're trying to figure out what other items were really taken from the home. As we understand it, the second day, so the day directly after Ruby was taken into custody, they went to that Springville home with a DCFS worker, with Shari, with, as they described it, other family members. Police were there to supervise, and basically was to make sure Kevin wasn't there. I'm curious what other items were taken, because the whole goal is to get the personal items for the children, 4 children. It's not clear what she wanted from those items. However, if you spin through some of the comments, yes, I read them, by the way, for those out there that are watching, it's interesting that, what is on those tapes? What are on those cameras? What are in those journals? I think everyone wants to know.
All right, we want to thank Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this video. Life's scary. Minding your own business when it seems that everyone and everything, no matter where you turn, seems to want to hurt you. Okay, maybe that was a bit, but you get the idea. The point is, you don't have to feel helpless because Morgan & Morgan, the largest injury law firm in America, is here. Now, before you say, oh, great, another law firm ad, first of all, how dare you speak that way of Morgan & Morgan? And second of all, you don't know what makes them special. You see, Morgan & Morgan has completely modernized the personal injury claim process. They make it super easy for you. How? Well, you submit your claim, you sign contracts, you upload documents, and you talk to your whole legal team all on your phone. And you can text your legal team throughout your case as much as you want, whenever or wherever, about whatever you want. Now, you might be saying that sounds expensive. Well, here's the kicker. There's no upfront fee. You only pay them if you win. So it's no wonder over 3 million people call them every year. It's injured, you can submit a claim at forthepeople.com/law and crime or by dialing pound law. That's pound 529 on your phone. Tell you, I find his response interesting. Obviously, we're coloring it with the idea of look what he's discovering in the course of those 2 days, but also the idea that seemingly he was surprised charges are not being brought against his daughter. It makes you wonder about the relationship, which we know Shari, one of the adult children, had called 911 in 2022 She had heard that her siblings were being left home alone. It seemed she cared about them. There seemed to be a falling out between Shari and her parents. What can you tell us there?
The family dynamic is really interesting. I mean, we're not truly sure about all of the events in the timeline, right, of how everything played out. But so much of these kids' lives were put out there for the world to see. So you have to imagine there's probably some level of trauma there, some sort of thing that is sticking with, especially those two adult children, Sherry and Chad. It's really unclear how they're gelling together now, because just earlier this week, they all walked into court together and there were smiles,
Right.
even a little bit of laughter. And I didn't expect that. We had a different river down there in Provo, which is just south of Salt Lake City. For those of you that don't live in Utah, it's not far, but that's the site where a lot of the child welfare case is being handled, which is sealed. So we're outside. We see them all walk down the steps. I think everyone was surprised, especially after we put this body camera video out there that confirms the police reports that Kevin wanted to press some sort of charges, or at least look into charges against Sherry for taking those items initially. The family dynamic is very interesting. And I don't know if we'll ever really know the nuts and bolts, the nitty gritty of just how deep this goes. But from the exterior, whether this was a planned thing from Kevin's attorney and Sherry's attorney, they all walked down the steps together and it looked like a lovely family sight.
I'm glad you mentioned, because I read through Kevin Frankie's attorney, Randy Kester, that apparently there was some sort of reconciliation between Kevin and Sherry. You saw that, right?
We saw that, and that's also what Kevin's attorney, Randy, said to me after I reached out to him about this body camera video. I told him, hey, we have this interaction. We have these police reports. Is there something you'd like to share with me? Because this is after I had an interview scheduled with Randy, and he pushed it to the side because of the child welfare case, and we haven't been able to reschedule. So he did send me a couple sentences that we did share in our coverage. They said, hey, they're working on these bygones, as he described it. They're trying to basically mend this relationship. And whether it's happened so quickly in a matter of days or weeks, I don't know, but at least it was on display earlier this week when the whole family, at least Kevin, Sherry, and Chad, all came together.
Right.
As it pertains to those 4 children. And by the way, Ruby was also there that day. We didn't see her, but we do know that she was transported from Washington County, which is in southern Utah, hours away, mind you, up Utah County, being held on a hold for that hearing. So in theory, you'd have to imagine basically most of the family was there that day.
Dynamic, a lot different than it was maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. Okay, let's move on to the other videos because I think they're fascinating as well. So there is this other body cam video. It's from Springville Police. It's after the kids, the 2 children, are found in Ivins. Police then swarm Ruby Frankie family home, making sure that none of the Frankie children were there.
You two stay on that corner. Police department!
So, Brian, according to police, the Springville home was empty. What do we know about that? Not a raid, but swarming to try to check in. Where are the kids?
So to be clear with you, we at KUTV didn't have that exact body camera video of Springville breaking the door open, going into the home and looking throughout. I know the video you're talking about, though. We know that they tried to look in the windows. They tried to see if anybody was home, and they had a search warrant, as we've seen. I haven't seen the search warrant because it's part of the sealed documents, but it is out there somewhere. And they went into the home, obviously didn't find anything, which really set off a kind of countywide search for these 2 children, which involved Springville reaching out to other agencies. And that's where this nearly 3-hour-long body camera lives that we put out there recently from American Fork, which is basically a neighboring town, which is where they ultimately found those 2 children in the homes of another individual.
Let's talk about that. So police later located Frankie's other children at the home of another woman with connections to Jody Hildebrandt's business. Her name is Pam Botcher in American Fork, Utah, as you said. And the American Fork police keep Botcher in handcuffs. They lead her to the back of a police car while they waited for the Springville police to arrive.
He's Frankie's daughter.
Okay.
She's a friend of ours. She comes over and helps me every once in a while with cleaning and stuff.
Because she knows her mom. She's very good friends with her. Has known her for a long, long time.
Brian, what do you make of that?
Well, that's one clip of nearly 3 hours that I combed through the other day. So I can say it's definitely one that stands out. what's interesting about Pam, we put out some reporting on Pam early on in this. We noticed that she was on the Connections Classroom website. When I spoke with Jesse Hildebrandt over a month ago now, Jesse told me about Pam and how that fits into all of this. So it was only a matter of time before we found out more information about Pam. Pam has not been arrested. Pam has not been charged. She's not in any of the documents pertaining to this as far as court proceedings that we see publicly right now. But that's where the children were located that day. Pam, as far as we understand it, started off as a family friend of Jody Hildebrandt's. She mentions in this body camera, I've known Ruby about 3 years or so. She was just a member of Connections. Pam really in this clip couldn't answer what Connections is, which I think a lot of people found interesting considering she's listed on that website, which I believe is still active, as president of the Connections Foundation. So all of it was life skills, right? That's kind of where she kept going to.
Let's play that real quick. So again, this is her, again, she's a team member on the Connections Classroom website. This is her briefly explaining that.
How did you start to know the family? How did you meet? The Frankie family? Yeah. Through a program called Connections. It's a kind of a life skills type thing.
Yeah, Brian, like you said, it's not entirely clear what Connections is.
Yeah, it's very interesting because she's clearly been involved in Connections for a while. I mean, at least 5, 6, 7 years. We've gone through some of the tax filings. We've kind of looked at these things because Connections Foundation was a spinoff from Connections Classroom, classified as a nonprofit organization, so they could accept charitable donations and such. The whole thing is very interesting about how the DCFS worker asks Pam about Connections. And to me, I'm watching this, I go, oh, please ask one more question. Please ask one more question.
The reporter.
Yeah. You're right. I'm hoping for that one moment where we go, oh, it all makes sense now. But to get back to your original point, it's very interesting when you see Pam's husband say, oh, I don't really know Ruby. Pam knows her. And I think there's that interesting divide between maybe what we're seeing with some of the people involved in this case is maybe they're not sharing as much with some of the people even closest to them as you'd like to think that's involved in a family dynamic.
That's so interesting. And yeah, look, when we interviewed Randy Hester, I recall him saying that seemed to suggest that there was a manipulation going on the part of putting the blame on Jody Hildebrandt and how that changed the family dynamic of the Frankies. I want to continue on with this, though. So in this video, police officers and DCFS, Department of Child and Family Services, they kind of had a hard time figuring out exactly where all the children were and when.
So just to make sure I'm understanding all this correctly, Ruby texted you around noon and said that they had
around, I don't know if that's exact.
That's your best guess.
So she had a family emergency.
And needed to pick the girls.
I said, would you mind watching the girls while I'm gone? Because she was leaving. I said, yeah, I could do that because I need some help cleaning.
Okay, then did you say to bring them to your house for today and then take it back tonight, or to keep them here for a couple days?
She didn't say. I was just planning on bringing them home tonight.
So, Brian, what is your reaction to that response? And how do we know what all ended up happening with respect to the children that were at Botcher's residence?
It's interesting because Botcher mentions cleaning about 1,000 times in this 3 video. They were here to clean. They were here to clean up. We have visitors coming into town. It's very interesting that it kept going back to that subject. She did talk about a number of things that day. I mean, she said that Ruby asked her to pick up her children. She explained where they were. We haven't been putting out the locations for the security of the children. I mean, they work in the community and we're trying to be respectful of that. And they were, she picked them up in one town. Then she drove to another town. Then they went to go get ice cream or some snack of some sort. Then they came back and spent the afternoon and started cleaning the house. And as they describe in this video, then they were going to go pick some tomatoes and make salsa. Like it was this very wholesome, like family thing going on there. And I think what we make of this is how much of it is truly forthcoming, right? How much of it is just kind of surface level stuff? And did Pam at that time know what was happening to Ruby? I mean, a family emergency is about as blanket statement as you can imagine, right? I'd imagine if these two were friends or pretty close and you're taking in my children, maybe at some point in that quick phone call is, hey, some of my children are in trouble. I might be in trouble. I mean, I'm just curious to know if any of that was ever mentioned in the text messages or the phone call between Ruby and Pam as it pertained to the well-being of her other children.
And we know that the two girls at that home and two children that were found, they were all taken into state custody. And that's now being separated and litigated on a separate kind of case. In terms of Ruby and Jody, you've been following it. What is next for the case? What can we expect in the weeks or months to come? And what are you looking out for?
I've been constantly reaching out to both attorneys, right? So Lamar Winwood, the attorney for Ruby Frankie, and Doug Terry, the attorney for Jody Hildebrandt. We're about 4.5, 5 hours from them physically here in Salt Lake City to St. George. In our TV market, we do cover the whole side, the whole state. It's very taxing when you put the mileage on, but it's one of those things that we just kind of been waiting. At last we heard October 5th. It is now much later in October. Still no scheduled court hearing, still no, next step in the very long process. As you know, in the line of work that you do, these can take years to finally come to fruition. Well, I was very surprised because I figured that we would at least have something on the calendar now. As we stand today, there is a court hearing on the calendar for Ruby Frankie. It's coming up next month, but it has to do with a speeding infraction in Ivins, Utah, about 6 days before all this went down, maybe 5 days. I was surprised to see, of all things, that's on the calendar right now, but not this higher profile, nationwide, worldwide conversation about what is happening with these child abuse allegations against this very high profile YouTuber and her business partner that has this very interesting business dynamic relationship thing. I think we're all just waiting to see what happens next. I've been asking those questions, haven't been getting a lot of answers, to be very frank with you.
I will tell you, though, I encourage everybody to check Brian out because your reporting on this has been tremendous, and we're always trying to learn a little bit more details through the cracks. Even if there's not an official court hearing, we are learning new details. So Brian Schnee, anchor reporter from KUTV 2 News, I encourage everybody to check him out. Brian, thanks so much for taking the time. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody, that's all we have for you on Sidebar. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. We very much appreciate it. I'm Jesse Weber. Speak to you next time.
Gun on McDonald's worker. Uh-oh. Somebody was not loving it.
What's the person with the gun? What's the person with the gun? ¿A dónde está la persona con la pistola? Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
They gave us a call of a female with a handgun in their lap.
A handgun?
Yeah.
Oh, no, sir. I'm here waiting, picking up my son.
Oh, okay.
No, I
Sorry to bother you.
Oh, no problem. I don't know. That sounds like, where are you coming from? I see you walking up. I was like, that's the police.
Be sneaky. Put that gun away. Put it down. Get out the car.
What you mean? I'm licensed to carry a weapon.
You're fine.
Thank you.
You're fine. Put your hands back.
What are they talking about?
You have a concealed?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I do.
Just for safety. Okay. You're not under arrest right now.
Okay, thank you.
You have it?
Yes, and it's not under my slip anyway.
No ammo?
No.
Okay. Where did you have it?
I had it on
Is it back here?
Oh, you can take me with me. Okay, my shoes off. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I thought nobody can see you.
No. Yeah.
And put keys up here too. Give your ID and your concealed permit.
Yes. What is the problem?
Apparently, they saw your gun and they thought you were
It's in
threatening them.
it's in the car. I have it
Okay.
in my car. That's where I have it.
Okay. I'm just telling you.
It's
what-
no big deal.
You
She
asked
got
for
mad
order.
because she got mad because I asked for my order. That was the problem. I didn't do nothing. All I said was I'm still waiting on my #1 order because I asked for it. Now I'm trying to go home. She got mad. It was awesome crazy. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I'm still here waiting.
Okay.
Fuck, I got a gun from. I'm still waiting.
We don't know all that.
I don't care. That's the crazy part. She can tell what she wants to say. That's weird. The fuck, I'm still here waiting on my damn order.
Do you have your license and your?
Can you pull my shirt up?
She's still waiting, y'all.
You have your license and your
What is I'm being stopped for? What is the problem?
I just told you.
No, you did not, sir. No, you
She
didn't.
saw your gun.
Okay.
And that you were threatening her with it.
I did not threaten her with nothing, sir.
Something tells me they got into probably an argument. She showed her gun, sort of like, bitch, you better not talk that shit. And girl got
That doesn't make
threatened.
any sense.
I don't know.
She's not making any
That's
sense.
what we're here to figure out.
She's weird. Pull this up, please. Thank you.
The person that told us she was a busted shit.
What? I did not say that. She's a damn liar.
You gotta watch the video.
No, she's not finna sit here and fucking lie on me like that. No, she's not gonna do that. And I'm finna call my mom right now.
Something tells me she did it.
That's weird as hell. Get my no, I'm gonna get my phone. Thank you. So
I don't know why, but
she's a. Are you serious?
Yeah. All right.
Are you serious?
I'm done told with them.
body language seems like she didn't.
Excuse me.
He's staying with 0.
Are she serious? I did not do anything to her. I'm waiting on my order.
We're gonna watch the video.
Okay, well, please
okay?
watch the video, please, because that doesn't make no sense, sir.
We're gonna watch the video.
That's
and it'll
weird. Fine, bro. I'm gonna call you right now. I'm gonna call right now, because that's crazy. I don't have time for this. I really don't. This lady is crazy. I didn't do anything at all. I'm just waiting on my order. Just waiting, bro.
Well, you're gonna have to make time for it now.
Not at us. We're just responding to a call.
Yes, but I didn't do anything. That's why I'm still waiting here.
That out. If you're acting out, then it makes it
They don't know that.
No, I'm not doing anything.
You're
like
saying that,
I
but they
just
don't
like
know
that
it.
she just sat here and lied.
You said you had the concealed permit. You said a license.
Yes.
You avoided it 3
Yes,
times.
I didn't do anything. Yes.
I'm telling you what we're here investigating. You're not listening to me. It makes you look like a bad
No,
guy.
I am listening to you. I just did. The thing about it is, I don't like the way she's sitting here lying because I didn't do anything. I'm just sitting in my car waiting on my food.
I also told you we're gonna watch the video.
They don't know if you're
Yeah, I
lying
just
or
heard
not
that.
yet.
I just heard that because at the end of the day, he's over here acting like I did something wrong. You guys come like I didn't do anything at all.
We're here for a person with a gun to allegedly.
Okay, well, I didn't let you do anything. I didn't let you threaten anyone. I did nothing.
You don't allegedly.
Yes, sir, I do.
You're being accused of it. It's not
Yes,
saying you did
thank
do
you.
it.
Okay.
She's accusing you of it.
Yes.
We're gonna watch the video to see if you did do it. I'm not saying you did it. I'm saying you're being accused of it.
Mm-hmm.
We watch the video. You didn't do it. Cut them off.
Yes.
Everybody goes away home.
I want to thank Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this video. Now, before you say, oh, great, another
You
law
did
firm
do it.
ad.
You
First
went
of
to
all,
jail.
how dare you speak that way of Morgan & Morgan? And second of all, you don't know what makes them special. You see, Morgan & Morgan has completely modernized the personal injury claim process. They make it super easy for you. You submit your claim, you sign contracts, you upload documents, you talk to your whole legal team, all on your phone. And you can text your legal team throughout your case as much as you want. Yeah, I said team. They have 4,000 support staff. I can't even get anyone here to get me a coffee, a tea, a soda. And let me tell you, I get parched. It's no longer the days of back-to-back meetings and consultations. An attorney is going to review your case with 8 clicks on your phone. That's it. Now you might be saying, oh, that sounds pretty expensive. Well, here's the kicker. There's no upfront fee. No, you only pay them if you win. So it's no wonder over 3 million people call them every year. If you're injured, you can submit a claim at www.forthepeople.com/law and crime or by dialing pound law. That's pound 529 on your phone.
And do you have a valid driver's license? Are you allowed to drive?
Yes,
Do you have that with you?
I can't believe this lady really.
Her answer wasn't that competent.
I'm gonna let you go, but I want you to stay standing right here. Okay?
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Just stay standing right here.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go anywhere. I didn't do anything. Why would I run anywhere?
I'm
I'm
not
still
saying
sitting here
running.
waiting on my food.
I'm not saying running.
Shoot.
I'm saying stay standing here.
Crap. I'm still waiting on my dang food.
And that's your mom?
Mm-hmm. I don't know what the heck she decided to say. That's crazy.
Said, you watch the video, it shows you not doing it.
It's this number right here. Go ahead.
When you handed it to me, it clicked.
Oh. Girl. Weird. You're not here. It don't make no sense.
82 teletype. Can you copy a PX? 321-390-0192. That's the person in the drive-thru's mom. Stand by 50 seconds. I'll tell you what you need to say.
So, I want you over there. You stay there, man. Right there.
And what do you want him to tell her?
Tell her to call my phone because I'm having a problem at McDonald's that could possibly send me to jail. Yes.
Do you want to wait to see if you get released first? Because if we watch the video,
I'm not going to jail because I didn't do anything.
Yeah, watch the video. Then.
Yeah, I didn't do anything. I didn't do nothing at all.
Listen, if you watch the video and the allegations are false,
nothing.
You're not listening to me. Listen to me, please. If you watch the video, it didn't happen. Weird. Those handcuffs come off. You go home. Do you understand? Stand over here, please. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you're gonna be released, do you still want to call your mom?
Yes, I got to call her. I need to call her.
Okay.
That's weird. That's crazy. I don't like that.
I just want to make sure that you don't call her and then get released and then.
No, I want to call her now because that doesn't make me think she's lying. I didn't do nothing. I didn't pull no gun out on her. Why would I do that, sir? I go to school for justice. I would never do that. That doesn't make any sense. But people do it, of course.
People
you
get
can't
falsely
trust me.
accused.
Of course, but I
all
didn't
the
do
time.
that. Nothing shows. Like,
People get
what the
falsely
heck?
accused. All the, you're not listening to me.
I'm done.
All
I'm
right.
so tired of that. She's a liar. That's weird. I didn't do anything. Nothing.
You want to put her in the car?
Yeah.
Okay.
For what?
You're under arrest.
For what? What did I do? What did I do? Can you tell me why I'm on
assault?
Assault of what?
Walk with me.
Can I get my phone so I can call my mom, please?
Yeah.
Assault for what? What the heck? I didn't do no assault.
I understand. You watch the video, so.
Oh my God, these people are crazy. This is doesn't make any sense.
Nope. You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you. Can I get can you call my mom, please?
Yeah.
I need a phone, please. I call my mom because my kids are at home. But I thought I came back and gave them
Can she come and get your car too?
Yes, if I can get her phone, please. I don't know what the heck she's talking about. It doesn't make any sense. Like,
can you call that number and have her mom respond and pick up the car?
can I get it? Yeah, just call the number. I didn't.
What's your first name?
Father Young.
Say it again.
Father Young.
Father Young.
Yeah.
All right, watching these.
Thank you so much.
It's gonna be that door. Step up against the counter. Step up against the counter. Give me a second. Squash. Can you do a search for me? Yeah. I'll be in here with you.
Have you got anything on your person that can poke or stick me?
Lean forward for me. I need to get to your hands. No, I'm good, thank you. What's that? Whenever they get a chance to transport you. What's that? No. Can you take your jewelry off and just dump it in here for me?
I don't have a number one yet. Like, I don't know nothing.
Yeah. I have it in my truck. Yeah.
My phone to be able to call a number.
Okay. I'll put you in there. I'll go grab your phone and I'll let you back out.
So what is that, assault?
Yeah.
Assault. Like, how is that assault? I didn't.
Oh, you telling somebody that you're gonna hurt you.
I didn't tell her I was gonna hurt her.
Oh, that's what her affidavit's saying. That's the call that we got.
No, I'm gonna get a lawyer. I'm gonna send her out to fucking court because she's a goddamn liar. I didn't do nothing to her. So, shit's ridiculous. No, bro, she got me fucked up. Cause I didn't even do nothing. All I said was, all she did get my order right. Then I have already. I mean, it was in my car anyways. The fuck? And I don't care the fuck what they supposed to do. Can't do the gun. The fuck is registered. It's licensed. I'm licensed for the shit. So.
I wouldn't say anything else.
Openly displayed in your vehicle. It
Yeah,
has to be
but
securely contained.
yeah, but I ain't say that I was gonna shoot her or even point it towards
So
her.
that in and of itself is a second-degree misdemeanor to have it open in your vehicle.
What? I didn't assault her ass.
Nope.
It still was concealed.
It was sitting on your passenger seat.
Yeah, but it was still concealed in my car.
It's readily accessible. It's not concealed.
How is that readily accessible for me to? I would have to look it up. The gun was in my car. It doesn't have any bullets.
Man, I love when people argue with the
No.
police.
Okay. Well, it's still a firearm, regardless of it, whether it has
But it's
bullets.
still my firearm. I can carry it wherever I want to. That's the reason
Not open,
wherever
right?
I want to. Yeah, but it has nothing in it.
It's a firearm. That's the thing. It doesn't matter if it has bullets or not. Bullets aren't regulated that much. Firearms are.
Anyway.
Can you take the earrings and does that nose ring come out?
Now, if this is a felony assault,
Yeah, but
you're
it
going to
didn't
end
have
up
nothing
losing
in
that life
anyway.
right to have a firearm.
Because I was close to put it up. I went to McDonald's to go get something to eat, and I was gonna put it up, and then this happened, and I didn't even do nothing to her.
All over eating
car.
something at McDonald's?
And I ain't
Fuck
threatening her.
that.
I ain't trying to do anything to her. I ain't even pointed at her. So I just did a lawyer. It's okay. So you can't do nothing about it, and I can't even. I just did a lawyer. If you're not gonna say I did anything to her, if you're here, fine. I didn't do that because if I did that, I would not be still sitting at McDonald's waiting on my food. I would have left. That doesn't make no sense.
Not necessarily.
I'm still sitting here waiting on my food. I'm like, okay, boom. And then you guys, I'm like, what? That's why I was surprised. Cause I'm looking at it like, I didn't even do nothing.
You don't have any other? That one might come out. Really.
That's it.
All right. Can you step in? So 2.
And you gonna put my phone like
Yes.
Cause I need my kid. You got my yeah,
Orange County, California, and now south of Los Angeles, is best known for its wealthy, sprawling suburbs, Tony Beach communities, and Disneyland. But lately, it has drawn unwanted attention from the California Attorney General and the U.S. Department of Justice for the way its prosecutors use informants in its jails. Used correctly, informants can be valuable assets to law enforcement to help bolster their cases. Misused, their work can backfire, upsetting the scales of justice, reversing convictions, and freeing guilty criminals. That's what's happening in Orange County. This is a story of two snitches, one who remains in jail, the other is back on the streets. But now he's snitching on the prosecutors he once loyally
And yeah, now he's gonna show himself, and now he's going against the prosecutor too.
served.
How many times were you arrested?
Numerous.
5, 10, 15?
Over 100. Let's say over 100.
Mark Cleveland is a career criminal. A life of drug addiction etches his face and gave him a rap sheet merely as texture. 40 years of petty crimes, burglaries, a hit and run.
How are you out?
Because I'm extremely good at providing information to the sheriff department and the district attorney's office, and have been for years.
Cleveland was a jailhouse informant, a snitch. He ratted on other inmates in exchange for time off his sentence.
You were able to knock how much off your sentence?
Well, 40 years.
Because you were such a good informant.
That's a lot of snitching.
We met Cleveland at a hotel. He keeps a low profile these days, fearful that former jailmates may seek retribution for betraying them.
Oh, I'll have to be back. Then again, maybe I won't be. I don't know. What's up, everybody? Snaggy, everybody. I gotta go to the bathroom. I may come back and stream. I'll be back. Bathroom. I may come back and stream.